Chicago is the most populous city in the state of Illinois in the United States, with a population of around 2.611 million people, making it the third most populous city in the country, after New York and Los Angeles. It is also the most populous city in the Midwest. Transportation in Chicago. Let's start with transportation. The mayor of Chicago has launched a bicycle lane project to improve urban quality of life. By the end of 2025, it's expected that there will be 650 miles of bike lanes throughout the city. The Chicago Transit Authority, CTA, operates the second largest public transit system in the country, with buses and subways running throughout the city and surrounding suburbs. Most buses run every day, 24 hours a day, and some routes even operate throughout the night. Taxi fares start at $2.25, with an additional charge of $1.85 per mile. Chicago's weather. Now, let's talk about the weather. Summers in Chicago can sometimes be hot and often humid, with an average temperature of around 25 degrees Celsius. Winters are typically cold and snowy, with temperatures often below freezing. Interestingly, the proximity to Lake Michigan makes the weather in the city center milder in early summer and winter. If you think Chicago is famous for its winds, you'd be surprised to know that it's actually less windy than many other cities in the US, but it's still known as the Windy City. The history of Chicago. How did Chicago come into existence? Before European settlers arrived, this area was the territory of the Potawatomi tribe. The first non-native settler of Chicago was a man of Haitian descent named Jean-Baptiste Point du Sable, who settled here in 1780. The area was founded as a village in 1833, and 4 years later, when its population reached about 4,000 people, it became a city. With the expansion of the railroad to Chicago, the city began to grow and prosper, and by 1870, over 300,000 people lived there. The origin of Chicago's name. The name of the city is also interesting. It was first recorded in the late 1600s and is derived from an Algonquin word, Chica-Aqua, meaning wild onion field, because wild onions used to grow abundantly in this area. Why is Chicago called the Windy City? Contrary to what many people believe, this nickname was given not because of the weather, but because of the city's talkative and ambitious politicians. Although Chicago is indeed windy, and some winter days can bring strong winds that significantly lower the temperature, this is not the reason behind the nickname. Cost of living in Chicago. When it comes to living in a city, we need to know about its costs. Chicago is one of the largest and most vibrant cities in the US, but the cost of living can be challenging. Renting a one-bedroom apartment in the city center costs between $1,800 and $2,500. If you want to buy a house in this area, the price per square meter is around $4,000 to $7,000. A meal at an average restaurant will cost between $30 and $50. But at a luxury restaurant, expect to pay at least $70 to $100 or more. Monthly expenses in Chicago. Monthly grocery costs for one person range from $300 to $440. A liter of milk costs about $1. A loaf of bread is around $2.50, and a kilogram of chicken costs between $8 and $10. Utilities, water, electricity, and gas for an 85-meter square apartment are approximately $150 to $200 per month. And high-speed internet, 60 megabits per second or more, costs between $60 and $70 per month. Overall, the living costs for one person, excluding rent, range from $1,000 to $1,500, and for a family of four, it ranges from $3,000 to $4,000. Taxes in Chicago. What about taxes? Sales tax in Chicago is a combination of state, county, and city taxes. The state tax is 6.25%, the county tax is 1.75%, and the city tax is 1.25%. Some items, like groceries, except prepared foods and medications, are taxed less or exempt from taxes altogether. Safety in Chicago. Now let's talk about safety. Chicago is known for its high crime rates in certain areas, but in recent years, crime rates have decreased. For example, in 2022, around 600 murders were reported in the city, which shows a decline compared to previous years. Theft is another common crime in Chicago, but it's less frequent in tourist areas and the city center. In contrast, areas like the South and West Sides see more car thefts. Safe neighborhoods in Chicago include Gold Coast, Lincoln Park, Streeterville, and West Loop, while areas like the South Side, Englewood, and Austin have higher crime rates. Famous deep dish pizza. One of the most famous things in Chicago is its pizza. Deep dish pizza is a well-known dish from this city, made with thick layers of cheese and tomato sauce. Some restaurants take 45 to 60 minutes to prepare it. Chicago's tall skyscrapers. Chicago is also famous for its tall skyscrapers. The first skyscraper in the city was built in 1885, and it sparked a global race for height among cities. The Willis Tower, formerly known as the Sears Tower, is the tallest building in Chicago, standing at 442 meters. It was the world's tallest building until 1998, when the Petronas Towers in Malaysia surpassed it. Over 1.3 million people visit the tower annually, and on clear days, you can see 4 different states from the top: Illinois, Indiana, Wisconsin, and Michigan. Chicago's river that flows backwards. One of the most beautiful parts of Chicago is its river. But the weird thing about this river is that it flows backwards. Originally, the river was a small creek that flowed into Lake Michigan, but in the late 19th and early 20th centuries, its flow was reversed to become part of the city's sewage and drainage system. In recent years, the river has been cleaned up and has become a popular recreational destination. Now that we've shared so much about Chicago, what do you think of the city and its interesting facts? Be sure to share your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for supporting us by liking this video and subscribing to our channel. Don't forget to click on this video and keep watching more videos from our channel.